Good morning. It is a chilly morning here in Virginia. We just had our first below freezing temperatures here last night, so I figured that would be a good opportunity to talk to y'all about how we deal with cold weather. The inside is actually pretty easy. It's kind of like a house, have the heat on, wear socks and jackets, and use lots of blankets in the bed. But more specifically, we have an electric fireplace built into our RV that's in the living room. We can put it on low and high, so we use that depending on how cold it's going to be. We also have a little electric space heater that has like a tip over cutoff protection thing on it that we can set up either in the bunkhouse or in our room if it's really cold. We don't normally use that very much, but that's just if we need a little extra. And we have central heating, as it were. It's propane powered heat. And we use that when it gets below freezing or below 40. The main reason we use that is because this rig has an underbelly insulation on it, and it also has a heating duct that goes down into that belly near where the water comes in. So if you run the propane heat, it will actually keep your pipes from freezing underneath the RV. Once you get outside of the RV, it's a different story, and we'll talk about that in a minute when I go over there. But to keep things from freezing inside the RV, we will run the propane heat because the electric heat doesn't get any heat outside of the living space. It won't get it into cabinets or under the rig or anything like that. So that's kind of a quick overview of what we do on the inside. On the outside, let's head over to the other side of the rig and talk about that. Alrighty, we're over on the hookup side now. Really the main thing you got to worry about with freezing is your water supply, obviously. We've been at some campgrounds where the water pipes coming up out of the ground have insulation on them. Most of them, like here in Virginia and kind of where it gets below freezing every once in a while, but it's not a regular thing. Like, we're not going to be under feet of snow here in Virginia, like, ever. The pipes coming up out of the ground don't tend to be insulated. So really what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect the water supply coming into your RV. If the pipe coming out of the ground freezes, I mean, there's really nothing you can do about that. I've brought out hair dryers and warmed them up before, but really the key is you don't want water freezing in here, because if water freezes in here, just like in a house, you can burst pipes, you can destroy your water heater, you can destroy fixtures, and all sorts of bad things can happen in here. Last night it just got down to like 31 or 30, so I didn't worry about it too much because water freezes at 32, but that's pure water in a good environment. And here, the water here is kind of soft, so I know there's some stuff in it, and also the water is in a hose, so it's actually going to take below 30 temperatures really to freeze that water really well. So I didn't really worry about it last night, but if it gets below freezing again or too far below freezing, the first thing I would do would be to just disconnect the water. I would make sure there's water in our freshwater tank, and then I would disconnect all of this water stuff out here and just leave it out here, let it freeze or whatever, or put it in the belly. And then we would just turn on the water pump and use the water out of the water tank, because I know the water tank isn't going to freeze because, like I said a minute ago, I've got the propane heat that has a little outlet down underneath that keeps that area from freezing. If it's going to get really cold but we want water, or if it's going to be cold for an extended period of time, like last time we were in Virginia, this time last year, I will break out the freeze resistant hose. So what that is, oh, it's way back in there. I might just have to put a picture up of this. Probably won't be able to see that, but there's a big blue hose, and I really don't want to pull it out of here because it's huge and it's heavy. It's a hose that you plug one end into an outlet, and it's wrapped in a wire, and it also has insulation around that wire and the hose on the inside, so when it's plugged in, it stays heated. When we've had it out in snow before, like it snowed on us in Savannah last year, right after New Year's, when we had it out in that, there was actually a line through the snow where the hose was, and about like an inch on either side, because it was radiating enough heat to melt the snow outside of the hose. So that will keep the water from freezing in there. And then on the inside, again, if you've got your propane heat running, or depending on your rig, whatever can happen inside to keep stuff from freezing, you're good up to there. But let's look at the water post. So This is our water post at this Chesapeake Thousand Trails in Gloucester. If I had the freeze-resistant water hose hooked up here, this pipe here is just a metal pipe coming out of the ground, this stand pipe. This is going to freeze. The fixture here is probably not going to freeze because the heating element actually starts right here, so some of that radiant heat is going to warm this up, but the water's going to freeze in here. So really that's the main stuff you have to worry about. It's water. Freezing water is bad. Freezing water does a lot of damage. So if you can manage freezing water on the outside, but more importantly on the inside of your rig, you'll be good in cold weather. There are other things where if you're going to be in cold weather for a long period of time, these are things that I hope I never have to worry about, but you can actually get like skirting kits that you can put all the way around the RV that covers all that gap there. And then some people will put like work lamps underneath there just for some radiant heat, just to keep warm air underneath the rig. But that's going to be an extra layer of insulation between your RV and the ground / the outside. I don't ever want to do that. I'm never going to go camping in snow, so I don't think I'm ever going to have to worry about that. But if you're in that kind of environment, that you might want to look into something like that, because you're going to have far more to worry about than freezing water supply. You're going to have your sewer hose freezing. You're going to have systems start to slow down or fail because of freezing weather. So it's really, that's a whole nother level that I don't have enough knowledge really to speak a lot about. But for the occasional cold weather, get a heated hose if you need to. If you're just going to be below freezing every once in a while, just disconnect your water and run off of your fresh tank. But if you're going to be hooked up for a while like we were last year, we were in Rockahawk for a month and it was below freezing probably half the time. So we went ahead and invested in the heated hose, and that was a very, very good choice. That's a quick overview of what we do when the temperature drops below freezing. We also break out the bigger jackets. This one actually had a receipt in the pocket from the Grand Canyon, so that was the last time that I wore this. So it was, I guess, the end of March or the beginning of April this year. So it's been a while since we've been this cold. We try to avoid it. And this year, 2 weeks from today, we're heading down to Florida for 4 months, so we definitely won't have to deal with the below freezing temperatures very much, if at all, while we're in Orlando. So thanks for coming along with me. I hope you learned a couple things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when these videos go up, and check us out online at 5togo.com and patreon.com/5togo, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.